Okay, so I just got this Henley Erne 8kw multi-fuel stove. I had to assemble the legs to screw those up, bolt those on, and then also I had to remove the baffle plate to be able to connect on this collar which comes with it. You can put that on the front or back, and then there's a blanking plate to go on wherever you don't put it. But yeah, it looks good, has all these bits and bobs. This is to turn the middle area to shake out your ashes. The tray is a very shallow, but you know, it'll do the trick. It comes with this little handle, picking up the ashes.
Ready to light.
Almost ready to light. Then the door, you know, just twist it. It's only a single door, so isn't a separate door for the bottom. Your ventilation will be just twisting this little guy here, which just goes to the bolt on the back. And then you also have this air wash. Actually, I found this a bit fiddly. I had to, like, it can get kind of stuck. I think the method is to kind of push it down and lift it as you're sliding it across, because otherwise it just seems to lock. But this is to direct air across your window, the glass, to burn off any of the soot that's on it. It's a bit fiddly, especially brand new. Anyways, let's see what that does here. Look, it directs the air down onto the glass to clean it. Anyways, that's that. Yeah, it has fire bricks inside, which is interesting. That's probably why it's an 8K, because it throws out more heat. And it's 125mm or 5-inch collar adapter. I just have this sitting on it for the moment. So this is the stove. It's lit, and I actually have the draw turned down out of curiosity, but I'll turn it up a bit and see. Just testing it out one of these fire logs. The control seems to be good. You can see the flames after going up another bit since I opened it. Oh, well, look at that. So there's no stop on that. And that's after. It's after flaking the paint. Okay, well, if you get one of these stoves, be careful not to do that, because you'll chip the paint on it. That's annoying. Yeah, so that's just a very short thread on that, but it doesn't need to be so short. Silly me. Well, in fairness, you would expect it to be able to do that a bit more. Anyways, that's the stove. I'll screw that back on, and seems to be pretty good. I'm expecting it to be quite hot because it is an 8K, which is way cheaper than all other 8 kilowatts for whatever reason. Yeah, looks good. Also with the stove, I got this Henley glow stove mitt. That's for handling the door and hot things, whatnot. Yeah, that's about it really. One sec, I'll open this. Yeah, I have this stove mitt that came with it. Alright, so just had that first fire. I only lit that that fire log. It's the compressed wood fire log, just to have a small fire basically, because the manual, the instructions, they do say to have 2 or 3 small fires, and it's to help and to let everything cool down completely, to help the paint completely dry, because I did notice that the paint did still feel a slight bit tacky and soft, but now it seems to be solid now. Yeah. Oh, and on this vent, it just hadn't been tightened onto itself, so you can see as I turn that. So when I was putting this initially, the bolt was kind of stuck so they weren't connected to each other. So now I just had to hold the bolt, twist this the front of the vent on, and now they're tightened onto each other, so it can't fall off now. So, like, see, yeah, seemed to work well. And I was messing around with the vent over and back. It's still a little bit. It's like the only downfall, really. Also, when I emptied out, there's not very many ashes in those after those fire logs. I didn't notice this back lip is a little bit annoying for trying to scrape out to get ashes out, because it'll only go to there and you'll end up with a pile of ashes at the back. Not a huge deal. But all in all, yeah, it seemed to be grand. It was giving out a lot of heat from just that bit I put in. It seemed to push a lot out, which is quite good, thanks to the shape of the baffle in there. It's like pushing the heat right from the back, and it pushes it to the front, and then this is all getting good and hot and pushing lots of heat out. Alright, so just gonna light it up again now for myself. Okay, got a good fire going here, and the heat out of this thing is serious. It's just pumping it right out. Like, I'm a good, oh, I don't know, let me see here, about 1.5 meters away from this fire, and I can feel it, nice warm blast off that. Not quite sure if these fans actually do anything, but I think it's is helping to push the heat from under our fireplace out. We have it just kind of semi-blocked off. Yeah, so there you go. That's the Erin 8k. It seems to be doing really good. Once again, that thing is tricky. The handle is good. The handle actually feels cold, but it is definitely not cold in there. A lot of smoke coming out when I open, which is not good, which kind of means that there's probably a problem with the draw on this chimney. But where we're at, there is a big high building next to us, so having probably a great draw. Doing the job anyway. The stove is good and well worth what I paid for it, which was €400 brand new. Also, comes to the sign, don't burn household waste. The operating instructions, there's a ton of information in there about the types of fluid to use, what to burn, what not to burn, how to use it first off. Tons of information on it. It's actually really well laid out. I've actually never seen a manual that's so well documented and made so clear. Yeah, there you go. Cheers. Bye.